Equality, unity, power.
Power to the people.
No unity, no power.
White power for white people. Black power for black people. 1967. The Black Panther Party. The movement.
Freedom.
Let's talk about freedom.
We will not bow down to racism. We're gonna take out freedom. Equality, unity, power.
Power to the people.
No unity, no power.
White power for white people. Black power for black people. 1967. The Black Panther Party. The movement.
Freedom.
Let's talk about freedom.
We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation.
How many of us have we heard the story of how the caveman discovered the wheel, which of course is a very, 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 very important achievement in the history of humanity. How many times have we heard that the caveman discovered fire? Another incredible achievement by humanity. However, there's a sickness that formed within the human family that now wants to make sure that they get their credit because they are superior and better than other people. So within this community, this caveman that's getting all this credit is white or Caucasian or European. Because everything we do now, we use the wheel and we use fire. Very, very important achievements. Now we know that this fire and the wheel goes back longer than the caveman. And so those who are sick from the sickness of racism placed upon them, oh, no. They have to make clear the African, the melanated, the black, we discover. Now, mind you, modern day people, you ain't done a damn thing. This was passed down to you from generation to generation. All humans use fire. All humans use the wheel, but we have become victims of racism. I'm going to show that my people, that we're the supreme, we're the smartest, we're better than everybody. Nobody else does nothing. We the alpha, we the omega. If it wasn't for us, y'all wouldn't exist. There would be no civilization without us. So now because we lack power, but we still have and have developed the racist mind. I want to get my credit. The African discovered fire. The African, the melanated, the black. We invented the wheel. We have become sick. I was watching National Geographic, and contrary to popular belief, many animals develop intelligence and they learn certain things. And they were studying this group of chimpanzees. And one of the chimpanzees discovered how to use a stick as a tool and rocks as a tool to help them get food. The other chimpanzees watched and began to copy. Wow, this is an easy way to get food. Of course, they don't have our intelligence, but nobody cares about who discovered when. There's a great idea, and all the chimpanzees began to use it because that's good for them. Oh, but not the human being. I discovered this and I discovered that. Because we are sick with this racial supremacy or the supremacy of our nation. Americans are better than Russians. Russians are better than Americans. China is better than North Korea, and goes on. The human being so sick. Because I got to prove I'm better, I'm greater than somebody else. But in the scheme of things, whatever a human being, regardless male or female, regardless of your race or the nation, whenever a human being discovers something, invents something, all benefit all over the earth. It makes no difference who developed the internet. Human beings all over the planet use the internet and don't care who invented, don't care about it. I'm getting on the internet. Who invented the internet? I don't know, don't care. They don't care. They don't care who invented the telephone. They don't care who invented the computer or pictures. They don't care. The average person don't give a damn. It's been presented to the masses as a tool and the masses use it. So it's a sickness. And we have become part of that sickness. And it must be very stressful to be a racist. It must be stressful to be a racist wannabe. Because you have to live and you put yourself on this high level. How embarrassing it was for Adolf Hitler and the Nazis during the, 1930-something Olympics. Because the Nazis teach, we are the superior race. And then you had people like Jesse Owens and other black or maybe perhaps even Jewish participants in the Olympics that was whooping the hell out of Nazi athletes. But that's Adolf Hitler. That's their problem. Because they have built this lie, put this lie in their head, I'm better than everybody. We are the superior race. And then you look stupid. Some of us look stupid when we make claims that our race does something. Then come to find out your race didn't really do it. It was somebody else. It makes no difference who created and who did what. Because in the grand scheme of things, all human beings are going to benefit and use it. So what? It means nothing. There are things that we do, that we practice. We have no idea because it's been lost in time. We don't know if a black person done it. We don't know. And this is another thing. This racism has made us so sick that the black Muslim, that the Pan-African and the black Hebrew Israelite and the blackity black, they have become so sick that the Africans do everything. Human beings, other human beings on the planet don't know nothing. But there are civilizations and there are inventions that have nothing to do with Africans. Even in ancient times, many people never saw African. They don't know nothing about that. I could be wrong. But even so, it's a fallacy to say that nobody, no other human beings have done anything. Oh, it's all African. Without Africans, you wouldn't have nothing. But at the same time, they cannot explain, if you got all that going on, if you got all that going on, how come you're on the bottom today? Then here come all the excuses. It's mind-boggling that you have all this mathematical knowledge, all this scientific knowledge, but you can't defend yourself. The best thing you could do is throw a spear while other folks use gunpowder, hiding behind a tree, blowing you away. All this mathematical knowledge and science that you claim that you got, you should have been shooting laser beams. And then you end up conquered, then you end up a slave. And your condition is no different. You're still on the bottom, even if you're a billionaire. It don't make no difference. You still on the bottom. You have a better place being a billionaire, but you're still on the bottom. But I thought that you was the origin of that create every damn thing. And you so smart, but you're on the bottom. You so intelligent, but you're on the bottom. They can't explain it. Come up with these excuses. Well, you see, this is the dumbest excuse I ever heard. You see, we put ourselves on the bottom to prove that we are the superior, and we're gonna rise up to the top to prove that we are the superior. I've never known nobody who purposely will put themselves on the bottom so they can rise back to the top to show that they're superior. I never seen Muhammad Ali do it. I never seen, what's his name? Floyd Mayweather, whatever his name. He's not going to do it. Nobody going to go all the way back down to the bottom to prove they're superior and rise to the top. Because I guarantee you, what's his name? Floyd Mayweather, great boxer. He's not going to put himself in a position to be all the way to the bottom and try to rise back to the top. Because chances are, baby boy, you ain't going to make it. Because you know how hard it was to get to the top. So this is a sickness for us. It don't make no difference. I guess I assume the Africans created the internet. The Africans created Facebook that y'all love to play with, and YouTube. The Africans, Mike Zuckerberg stole Facebook from some African, and because nobody don't know how to do nothing, they have to copy melanated African people. Nobody on the planet know how to do nothing, but you on the bottom. If you got all this stuff going on, how you gonna be on the bottom? And then you adopt the same sickness that your oppressors put on you. Okay, we want to knock this subject out real quick. Thanksgiving. Hope that this day has been peaceful for you, and you, like myself, would probably entertain relatives today, eat turkey or tofu if you're a vegan, whatever. Enjoy the company of people that that you love, your friends, and have a good time today, if no other day, at least today. Safe travels for everyone traveling by car, train, boat, ship, however. Safe travels to everybody. Shout out to our sisters EnVogue who are in the Macy's Day Parade, Thanksgiving Day Parade today. All right. Let's knock this out the park rather. Okay, let's do this. I want to talk about this particular topic because there's a fallacy. There's outright lies about our elders, about our ancestors. Our ancestors are those assume have transitioned into the next life, but actually have left here. And we don't know what happened to them, but we know they're no longer here. So they are deceased. They are dead. They're no longer here. And usually when we talk about the ancestors, we talk about those who are deceased, long gone. When we talk about the elders, usually we assume they are living. They are alive, but older than us, most of us, our elders. There's a fallacy that elders have some kind of supreme wisdom. There's a fallacy that the ancestors have some kind of special powers and they can't die. They out there in the universe flying around waiting to come back to Earth to save us, or this nonsense. I want to talk about that real quick. Okay. Here, this is how I sometimes open up my live streams. I go, in the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snup 7. I am your soul brother, number 1. We give honor to the ancestors, but we know our ancestors have no power. We give honor and we remember those prior to ourselves, but we understand they cannot help us. They are no longer here. We can take advantage of any writings, any inventions, those things that they leave behind. We can take advantage of that. Any oral history that we remember, we can take advantage of those things. But when they leave this life, we understand that's it. They cannot help us. I understand. We understand. Brother Malcolm, Huey P. Newton, we understand our ancestors cannot help us. We just remember. We just give honor to those prior to ourselves. No more, no less. That's just the reality of it. However, there are those who want to claim that they are still alive, swimming around, flying around in the universe with special powers, and one day, I guess they will return with Jesus. One day, they will come here and save us from the boogeyman. Whoever that boogeyman may be. It's white folks, y'all say right now. It could be another boogeyman by the time they get here, because damn, it's sure taking a long time for y'all to come and save us, ancestors. What's taking so long? Y'all stopped at a Starbucks out there in the spiritual realm, getting y'all a cup of Java. Hey, we need to go save our living children catching hell. Let's go with that. Let me finish my coffee first. And see, the thing about that is, if you have spiritual ancestors, then don't your enemies have spiritual ancestors too? You think their ancestors are going to allow your ancestors to come, beat their children up, and don't do nothing? The whole thing don't make any sense. Also, the ones you talk about ancestors, they had ancestors also. The ones that you cry about that was oppressed, enslaved, that suffered these great atrocities, they had ancestors too. Where was the ancestors when they was lynching us in this country? Where was the ancestors when we were being sprayed with fire hoses and bit by? Where were the ancestors when you got to bring Massa his dinner and you got to rub Massa feet? Where was their ancestors? Where were the ancestors during these atrocities? We got to stop this nonsense. They have no power. And this is just life. As you come up, there are those who are in the wings ready to tear you down. Nobody owns the earth. We keep talking this other nonsense about we own the earth and we own land. You don't own nothing. You don't even own your life. Any silly person can take a gun, a knife, or their bare hands and take your life. You don't even own your life. How the hell you gonna own the earth? We own this land. Nobody owns nothing. You're gonna come here temporarily and leave. This earth, this land was here when you got here, when your happy ass got here. This sun, the moon, and the stars, and this planet, and this soil gonna be here when you leave. There's a 99.9% probability. And this has been going on for millions of years. You don't own nothing. Who owned it before you got here? Because human beings have not been on this planet as long as old as this planet is. Who owned it then? You don't own nothing. You come here for 5 years, 15 years, 30 years, 60 years, and you out in 5,000. Nobody owns nothing. And maybe that's the reason why the human beings treat the earth like they do, much like a lot of renters do. Because renters, they know they don't own the house, so they don't care what happens to the house. because they rent this and then they go somewhere else. Homeowners, many homeowners care about the house because they own it. So they want to make sure that the plumbing is right and you have pride in what you own. But a renter don't care. Trash all over the place. Don't care if the grass get cut or not. Don't give a damn. That ain't my house. Because you rent and you ready to leave. A lot of renters don't even stay in a place a long time. Stay here for 2 years, go to another place for 2 years, stay another place for 6 years, go. They just bounce around. Just bounce. But we're going back to our ancestors, and let's keep it real this morning on Thanksgiving, and be thankful that our eyes are really open. Be thankful that you can really see. I'm not talking about I'm conscious. I can really see now that the rain has gone. I can really see. The reality is the ancestors were people just like us. When we talk about, or rather when they talk about the ancestors, they really want to target those who achieved science and the culture, because the ancestors were, they act just like you and me. They were no different. They lie, they steal, they cheat on their wives, they hustle. They were like you and me. So look at us. They were no different. They slander, they gossip, they kill each other, they rape each other, they molest their children. Yes, yes, yes. There is no holy and righteous people in recorded history. The only utopian, the only people who are holy are those in fantasy and fiction. And when you read about that, they're not holy and righteous either. As we talked about in an earlier video I made speaking about the tribe of Shabazz, who's supposed to be so holy, supposed to be so righteous and good. The ancestors were people. They smoked their weed, or they did their drugs, the same thing we are today. So how are they supposed to save you, living or dead, when they couldn't do it? They couldn't save themselves. Just like this Jesus story. Jesus is supposed to die for our sins. Jesus is supposed to save us, and he could not save himself. Even to this day. Maybe that's the reason why Jesus has not come back. And I ain't coming back to that mess again. You got me messed up. Y'all killed me once. You ain't gonna kill me again up in this hizizi. Maybe that's the reason why Jesus haven't returned. So there's nothing wrong with putting the ancestors on high pedestals only because that's the reason why you're here. But then again, what makes that so good? Because they gave us problems. We inherited their problems. Whatever mess they was in, we got it. We inherited it. So it's not like this situation is special, but that's just life. Some of us, we inherit business from our parents. Some of those businesses are successful, and some of those businesses are barely hanging on. And if they barely hanging on, then we usually sell those businesses off, or they just go bankrupt and go out of business. We inherit diseases. There are genetic diseases that we inherited, cancers and other ailments that we inherit from our ancestors. Why don't you praise them for that? We have disease, genetic diseases in our family, passed down from generation to generation. I don't care what you eat. I don't care what you do. It's part of your makeup. But you don't never praise the ancestors for your sickle cell. You don't praise your ancestors for your going blind at 60 years old. You don't praise your ancestors for you being able to easily being addicted to drugs and alcohol, or maybe even the thoughts of being a damn serial killer that's been passed down in your genetic makeup. We don't praise the ancestors and don't think about that. When we talk about the ancestors, it's only about this fairy tale so we can feel good about ourselves and only bring about what we believe is good. And then when you really examine, it ain't all good. Accept reality, my friend. It's much easier. Again, the ancestors were nothing but people, just like you and me. They have no special powers. They did, and their mind was just like ours. We talk about the elders. And it's a wonderful thing to become an elder, to live 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. When you think about the elders, you think about people because of their life experience, and they've been here for a long time. They're supposed to bring us certain wisdom, certain intelligence, so that the next generation does not make the same mistakes as the old generation. A fallacy. The majority of elders ain't that damn smart. That's the reality of it. They're not smart. They don't have no wisdom. They ain't learned a damn thing. A lot of your elders been here for 50, 60, 70 years or whatever. They ain't learned nothing. That's why a lot of them don't tell you nothing. They don't teach you nothing. The majority of your grandpas, great-grandfather, whatever, they don't tell you nothing because they don't have nothing. They didn't experience. They ain't learned a damn thing. If they learn, why are we suffering? Why are we not doing any better? Why are we continue to make the same mistakes that they make? When your ancestors, when your elders bring you wisdom, the information, the wisdom, as a young person, you should ask, well, how come it didn't work? How come it didn't work for y'all? Because the majority of the things that your elders, Mr. and Mrs. Wisdom, what they teach us, didn't work for them. So what make them an elder? What make them so damn smart? What make them so intelligent when whatever it is didn't work for them? Your elder would tell you, believe in Jesus Christ. So we've been believing in Jesus Christ for over 100 years. Look at our condition. They tell us, well, that's the wrong God. We need to believe in Elijah Muhammad. We need to believe in Allah. We need to believe in the Quran. We've had that for 100 years. Look at your condition. Ask the elders, how come it hasn't changed our condition? They would tell you, you got to wait. It's a waiting game. All these wisdoms, all this stuff, it's a waiting game. We got to wait forever. We've been waiting on Jesus for 2,000 years. We've been waiting for this seed of Prophet Muhammad, this special Messiah, for over 1,300 years. Waiting on the mother plane. We just wait and wait and wait. How many generations died waiting? But the elders and the ancestors are so smart. and the elders and the ancestors have all this wisdom, have you at the door just waiting, what? And waiting. That's all we do is waiting. If the African ancestors had so much wisdom, had so much high science, why they couldn't develop weapons to counter what the Europeans, what the invaders had? You got to think about this. They were still throwing spears. If you have all this high science and all this, and you're more connected to the universe, and you got all this going on, how could somebody with less take over your whole continent? The invaders took over the whole continent, except a little tiny piece. But they have so much wisdom. They're so smart, so technological. You make mockery of Europe. Oh, well, we had this great civilization, and Europe couldn't even take out their trash, and Europe was still eating raw meat, and the Neanderthals, the cave people. Then you talk about the cave people. The cave people came and kicked your ass, took over your whole continent. That's embarrassing as hell to me. I wouldn't even tell that damn story. How you gonna talk about how technologically advanced you are? You've been on the planet. I'm the original man, and you so great. You've been around for trillions of years, not millions of years. You say you've been around for trillions of years, but here's a little guy with a club, you say, a savage, you say. He come out of Europe and took the whole continent, and he still controls the continent to this day with your smart ass, with all your spirituality, with all your great ancestors, with all this wisdom and understanding information, still got you under his boot. You want to get angry at me because that's the reality of it. I'm sick of that. The ancestors and the spirits ain't did a damn thing for us. They did nothing. Fairy tales and fantasy, fiction. It ain't proven on this platform, and we suggest and we advise we should take control of a state. And you laugh. Brother, come on. That's nothing. Because you say that you are king and you are God and you got all this wisdom to understand. Well, it should be easy for us. Well, take over a state, not a neighborhood, not a town. Matter of fact, with all your wisdom and understanding, you don't have control of your own community, your neighborhood, a town, city, let alone a state. You don't control nothing. All this information, you so great, blah, 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 and you don't have nothing. So you go around people that feed into nothing. That's why you don't like Angel Snuffing Up 7, because that's not acceptable. You take control of a state, there's no argument, because clearly we are in control. We run this. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to think about it. No, we run this like you run your house. When somebody knock on the door, you pay the bills. You bought the house, you own the property, you got your shotgun at the door. Don't have to believe in it. That's yours. Get off my land, you trespassing. How long are we going to continue to live in fantasy and fiction? This is Thanksgiving. Be thankful. that your eyes truly open, that you truly awake from the sleep of European influence, but also the sleep of all this black conscious, African black, first blackity black, and the Hebrew and the Moor and all this other nonsense that keeps you asleep with their fairy tales that produce nothing that's tangible, nothing of substance. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. And the reason why y'all can beef with each other is because you have an idle mind. These things don't really put you to work. Because if you really was working, you don't have time to be beefing and slandering and gossiping. I got too much here. I got work to do, like the Osley brothers say. I got too much work to do. And you bragging about your success because there's only one way for us, because we're already on the bottom, and that's up. How proud our children would be when they go to a state like Mississippi and we take control of it. We took a poverty-stricken state, and now we made it a functional, wealthy state. That all the other states, I want to be like that. What did them black folks do? How did they get it like that? I want California to be like that. I want Georgia to be like that. I want Tennessee to be like that. I want America to be like that. I want the world to be like them. Do you understand? You are the kingdom of heaven. Your scriptures say the kingdom of heaven is in you. You are the kingdom of heaven. Anything outside of this physical world, you will deal with that when it comes. You are the kingdom of heaven. You and I can be the example of the earth to all the human beings on the earth, what a human being should act and become. And we have no blood on our hands. There's no nation, there's no people that can say, soul brothers and sisters, the black American, the freemen in this country, there's nobody on this planet that can come to us and tell us and accuse us of some type of atrocity that we've done to them. Is atrocities associated with white folks done. And that's them. And we were under their influence as a slave people. But now that I'm free to build heaven on earth. When you truly become an elder, when you truly understand that you stand upon what the ancestors left and you build upon that, when you understand the wisdom and stop making the mistakes that they made. That's why you can't grow. You continue to make the same mistakes they made. You continue to think like they done, and it did not help them to progress. It did not move them forward. So you understand why they failed, and you understand why they did succeed. And now you know how to move forward and go up. Where is heaven? Up in the sky, in the heavens. That's why in Christianity, I want to go to heaven. I want to go up. That's why there's so much hatred for Satan. That's why there's so much hatred for hell, because hell represents down, the lower part. Like they say in spirits, talk about the lower and the higher vibrations. You want to go high. You want to move up. You want to go up into the heavens. The heavens is limitless, but hell is limited. And there's no other place to go. Heaven is unlimitless. The universe is waiting for you to come visit. But you can't do that unless you truly understand what God is. God in heaven. So this nonsense and this fallacy and this spooky way of looking at the ancestors and the elders, they were nothing but people like you, and the ancestors was nothing but people like you and me. And look how we treat each other. I don't like so-and-so, we steal and we rob. We divide it up. They were the same way. An elder, just because a person has age on them, don't make them smart. That's a fallacy. Because if they were so smart, why are we still in the condition? How come their children don't go no further? Actually, you're going backwards. So those people bringing that nonsense to me, you're going to get your feelings hurt. Dead people can't do nothing for us. And a stupid old man, a stupid old woman can't do nothing for us. I don't give a damn how elderly they are when they stupid. So this is why I take it upon myself. Because I've grown and I've been lucky to reach into elder status, getting there, 50, 60 years old. And I'm bringing you what I've learned and bringing it so that you don't fall to the. This is what you don't understand, young man. This is what you don't understand, young woman. I've already been there. I know about what we're talking about. That's why I'm telling you, you have to find something different. Because I've already been there. I'm a loser. My young life did not help do nothing. It did not move nothing forward. Because my elders were stupid. Or they were incompetent. So they wasted my youth. Don't let these suckers waste your youth. Because you're going to be like some of these other people, these elders, all pooped out when they finally learn the truth. When they finally can understand what needs to be done, all their energy is gone. I wish I had the energy I had when I was 19, when I was 20, when I was 25 or 30. I don't have it no more. But whatever I have left, because you need it, nobody's going to help you, then I'm willing to use the rest of this little tiny energy that I got to help you while you have some energy as a young person so that you can move forward. You're not going to move forward. Continue to listen to these dumbass elders that's teaching you fairy tales and mythology, all this spooky supernatural garbage. You're not going to move forward to continue to listen to them. They have no wisdom. They have no knowledge. They have no understanding. All that you have to do is ask them, what did it do for you except make you feel good? What did it produce for us if it's so great? All thing they're going to do is give you excuses and put you on the waiting list. Well, dear, you know, things take time. And things take time. We just got to wait. You already been waiting 2,000, 5,000, 100 years. Put us on the waiting list. How long y'all gonna wait? And you're silly and you hypocritical because you know damn well you wouldn't wait that long for Uber. You wouldn't wait that long for a pizza. You're not gonna wait that long for a McDonald's hamburger. You're not gonna wait long. You're not gonna wait for a kiss. You're not gonna wait to get in somebody's panties. You're not gonna wait like that. But you're gonna wait for Jesus for 2,000 years. You're gonna wait for all this special divine stuff for hundreds of years. All these generations have come and gone, and you're gonna wait. If that's not delusional and insane, I don't know what is. Of course, things take time. But I guarantee you, what we call the vision of the Mississippi campaign, it's not going to take 100 years. If you get on it, let's go to work. We'll be able to see the fruits of our labor before you leave this planet. So when I and you close our eyes, we will know that the next generations, they got it going on. They're going to be all right. And we can lay down and transition into the next life or whatever the hell it is, comfortable knowing, wow, they made it. They're going to be all right. You can't set a waiting list. You ever been on the waiting list to get into the projects, to get Section 8? Some of you been on the waiting list, you just got tired and just go ahead and just pay regular rent or whatever. Long waiting list. This is no different. How long you gonna wait? Listening to dead people that can't talk to you. You talking to the ancestor. Oh, ancestors, or this invisible God. You talking to nothing. Just, oh, ancestors, oh God, never get an answer. Or you talking to these dumbass, incompetent, silly, well, you see, child, and they gonna tell you about the dead ancestors and the spiritual world and low vibrations, high vibrations, and all the different kinds of vibrations and other nonsense. Put you on the waiting list. How long you gonna stay on the waiting list? It's understandable and it's justice for a reasonable time. Hundreds of years, thousands of years is not a reasonable time. Ain't nobody, you would be dead. When you get a contract for work to be done on your house or your car, that work has to be done in a reasonable amount of time. Outside of that, you start getting upset. I need my house fixed. I need this car fixed. But you're going to tell me that you're going to wait on Jesus for another 2,000 years. The mother plane for another 150 years. You're going to just wait. Y'all some silly suckers. You deserve anything that you get for being a dumbass. I suggest accept reality. Get on board the soul train that's taking us off these vessels of nonsense that's just keeping you asleep. Whether it's European or whether it's blackity black, they keeping you asleep. Get on the soul train. The soul train represents life. Soul represents life. Soul is supposed to be the life for the body. That's the only way that we can rise up out of the grave. This is supposed to be a 15-minute video. No, it never happens.
Everybody join.
Yes. I want that. Oh, I need that. Gots to have that. It's check it
And I am also your soul brother, number one.
Your living room, as long as it's around your home. Send love to Brother Tyler, but after all is said and done, truth is, and go to Louisiana, you're the one. We're here, I can't tell a man not to defend himself. Not at this late stage. Can't tell a man he ain't got no right to nowhere. Not in this day and age. The song may not touch a whole lot of people, persuaded by the truth. But take a look at what's going on, people.
Last show. Great.
And as always in parting, we wish you
Come on and jam with us next week on these same stations, and you can bet your last money it's all going to be a stone gas, honey. I'm Don Cornelius, and as always in parting, we wish you love, peace, and so